I don't want to see it be denied because it's perceived there isn't a problem. I acknowledge there isn't a problem. I see this as an attainment of recognizing a legitimate business and not to the embarrassment of a business owner or an establishment to have to change wording just to get a business license. So maybe it can be tweaked, whatever, but I don't want to see it go away. This is a basic philosophy of, do we as a board believe in medical marijuana? I think we do, so I don't want to see it go away. Supervisor Pinchot.
Well, if we want to make an ordinance, to dispensaries, then the only way I would support the ordinance if it's more in line with other businesses. For instance, the limitations of no more than 3 in the county, that's not, that's too restrictive, especially from a district supervisor that represents in extremely rural areas. I think that's, if somebody wants to do it by the rules in Covelo or Laytonville or Leggett in the far reaches of the county, or even Wallala, they should have that right, not say be told no, because, well, there's already 2 in Ukiah and 1 in Fort Bragg. So things like that, and then these, this being 1,000 foot from anything, I can't go, it's got to be 1,000. You think about these little towns like Covelo or someplace, when you got to be 1,000 feet away from a youth-oriented facility and 1,000 feet away from a place, a grocery store where they sell tobacco, and then 1,000 feet away from or a parcel directly from a RR zoning parcels. Basically, you have nothing left. There's no area left. So, if I'm even going to look at some sort of a dispensary ordinance, those things have got to be lined out to where they have the ability, if a good operator wants to put one in the rural reaches of this county, because we have medical patients, in the rural areas of Mendocino County, and with the price of gas and everything, it's a lot more restricted for them to get to say centralized locations. So, and the only way I'm going to support that is if it's not restrictive, especially because that's one of the main reasons I sit here, is to protect the rural areas of Mendocino County.
And in response, that item 9.30.150, section C, 1,000 feet from a youth-oriented facility or school, park, smoke shop, that was actually input provided from the public, that's what they wanted. And additional areas. So, in fact, in the last year, we've heard from area residents from within this valley of a possibility of a store opening that provided alcohol and tobacco being too close to a school. And so we responded to that somewhat. So I think there's been good arguments provided back and forth. I would be willing to modify, move it to a committee, maybe slightly more appropriate. But again, my main emphasis is to legitimize. We can't let this die and just continue the way it is. And so I'd be more than willing to say, good attempt, Jim, but you didn't hit the bullseye. Let us take a shot at it. Supervisor Colfax.
Thank you, you got it right.
Yeah.
I think being a member of now the Criminal Justice Committee with Supervisor Delbar, I will not volunteer to take up this issue. This will be thrust upon this supervisor. He will not take it willingly. I think we have a situation where one can sell a number of things in a notions store, but we don't say what are those notions. Or a 5 and dime, and we don't say what are the products. Are you selling 8 varieties of toothpaste and so on and so forth? If it meets the requirement to have a business selling products that fit under that designation, it is permitted to exist, and as long as it meets some very simple rules. And I think here the desire of the chair to, and a real effort put into this, which I I've learned a lot and I've benefited a lot, and raised a lot of questions, and I've gotten some very good answers. But I think here this attempt to legitimize something in the context of federal opposition is a fool's venture.
Been called worse, Supervisor.
No, I'm not, no, I'm saying for the supervisors in general, no, the
Okay.
attempt,
Thank you.
no. But let's say, no, I won't try to I can't retract it, it's out. But I really think here that if you're selling alternative health products, from my point of view, there are a lot worse, goofier health products out there than marijuana, and they're sold on the shelves from snake oil to carrot juice. But I feel here that we have in place exactly what we need to have in place, and we have the kinds of entities that are out there. And you see, I'm disinclined to call them dispensaries, because the minute we call them dispensaries, we are saying we're doing something that the feds like to tear up. And the fact of the matter is we have businesses out there doing a lot of different things, selling a lot of different products. And my feeling is that as many dispensaries as are needed in Mendocino County should be allowed under the alternative health products heading, but we should not be in a position of examining it to say, what precisely are you selling, what precisely are you doing? In other words, government has no business at this point trying to figure out ways, local government has no business trying to figure out ways to cleverly circumvent federal laws, because we know we're going to lose that battle. If I were really serious about this, I would say give the whole problem to our public health department and let them become a designated provider and then give out franchises. But we know what the consequences of that would be, okay? But we, on the other hand, did it with needle exchange because people simply were not doing their job and the state was not making it easier. But at least the state was reachable and the law changed. And we had people out there taking real risks and doing really important work for years and saved lives with needle exchange. But I don't think we want to go in that particular direction, because that would really say, bring it on. Mendocino County says, bring it on, feds. And we're not in any position to be doing that. So I would say here, as a good libertarian, John, I don't think you have to overstate your case. I think here it seems to be working, and when it's working, why try to fix it? So my feeling here, I will not support either of these before us, and I probably won't support any such regulations until we get the change at the state or federal level that necessitates a change. But I do not see this as being proactive, and again, with due apologies, I do see it as an effort that at least brought it to our attention, and I think clarified a number of issues in the public's mind as well as this supervisor's mind. So again, my apologies for using a cliche, but I will not support this, and I will not support a prohibition, and I will not support an enabling effort, because I think here this is something that we just have no business intruding into unless we can make things better for those who need medical marijuana.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Pinches?
Yeah, one thing that doesn't,
Wrap this
certainly I don't want to overlook in this whole process, our Criminal Justice Committee, Supervisor Delbar and Wattenberger, has taken on a lot of heat in